First day of college classes. So the semester got off to a pretty turbulent start when my flight that was supposed to land on Tuesday morning before the Wednesday of classes actually got delayed 4 times and then canceled at 7 a.m. So I hopped over to SFO and got onto the next flight, but of course that also got delayed. Nevertheless, I eventually landed at Boston Logan at about 7 a.m. in the morning, the same day that my classes start. Hi Daniel, how was your break?
A lot of food and boba.
Andy, what about you? So unlike most first day of college vlogs, I did not start off waking up in the morning in my bed. I headed straight from the airport, took a train to Providence, and walked to class. I ended up missing 3 classes that were scheduled for the morning. Those classes were sociology of medicine, data ethics, and society. And oh yeah, and the last class that I was shopping for the morning would have been the meaning of life in the philosophy department. So that's how things are going right now. I rushed back to my dorm, got changed, and after receiving like 20 texts from Cynthia telling me to hurry up, I met with her at Wong's and we ate a quick lunch. Say hi or something, I don't know. Literally just wave. I'm gonna cut out the audio.
Wait. Okay. I look so dumb.
Okay, great. We parted ways and I headed over to Paige Robinson where my first class of the day was.
But I'm gonna go home and tell my wife that this is Introduction to Creative Nonfiction.
The course was called Introduction to Creative Nonfiction. It's historically been a super popular class at Brown. The room was absolutely packed, door to door, people flowing out of the room. Introduction to Creative Nonfiction is a class in which you get to write stories about things that actually happened historically or based on your own life and workshop them with other people in the class. I was lucky enough to actually have gotten a spot in that class during pre-registration, but after sitting on the first class, I realized it wasn't really for me, and so I dropped it. What?
Did you vlog coming here?
Yeah.
Hi.
I used the other camera.
We ended up being
I ate with
the same
Cynthia. Yeah, I was sitting behind her the entire time and neither of us noticed. There were like 70 people in that. Why am I yelling? We're in the mailroom right now. I'm just gonna record. I'm in the mailroom, guys. Call my name.
Sorry. You can sign. If you're all set, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
After the creative nonfiction class, I went to Introduction to Microbiology, which is a bio class with lab at Brown. The professors are very well known for being fun-loving, but also very great at teaching. The professors talked about Biosphere 2, which is a sort of closed ecological system that was meant to show that there could possibly be sustainable life outside of Earth. Not sure if I'm going to get into the class because there's a wait list, but we shall see about that one. The next class that I shopped was the Psychology and Philosophy of Happiness, so it's co-taught by both the CLIPS or Psychology and Philosophy departments. Of course, what the meaning of happiness is such an existential and compelling question, so I'm not surprised that basically half the school showed up. The professors were honestly hilarious, and I kind of want to take the class just to hear them speak, but fortunately don't have space for that class, so I also am probably going to drop that one. The penultimate class of the day was a public health class that I actually had applied to during pre-registration. I sent in a writing sample and a brief paragraph explaining why I wanted to take the class. It's a really interesting course that's more application-based. So what we're going to be doing is actually visiting a prison in Providence and having a focus group and sort of figuring out what the pain points are that prisoners struggle with the most in order to design an intervention to improve health and healthcare delivery in prison systems. We're going to be talking about a lot about injustice, racism, and systemic oppression, and how unfair public health policies actually feed into our growing incarcerated population. So if you're interested on mental health, substance abuse, the war on drugs, anything like that, you might be interested in taking that class. It's PHP 1820 with Professor Brockman. And then I went back to my room and did some work. As you can probably tell, I've shopped a ton of courses today, but I promise I will settle on 4. 4 tends to be the normal or standard course load for most Brown students. It's 5 p.m. right now, and my next class is at 6. I think I'm actually just going to look at my emails, reschedule an interview I have for this Friday, and I need to finish writing up some applications that are due in about a week or a week and a half. So a lot to do. It's going to be a hectic next few days.
They want a story, I'ma tell them that. They wanna see I got the visions, want the change, I'll make the difference. And you know that I'll be searching till I bring it back. Yeah, I went through hell and back to find myself, but I am not the same as who I left. No, I am not the same, I'm reinvented from the head toe. Still I'm on that same roll, still I'm grinding just to reach the payroll. Since I was like yay talent, yay.
At 6 p.m., finally, the last class of the day, I went to Poetry 2. This is also a class in which you have to apply to get in. You have to submit a collection of poems or a writing sample in order to get into the class. I didn't film it because it was a very small seminar and I walked in slightly late, so it would have been a little uncomfortable. Again, like Intro to Creative Nonfiction, it's a workshop-based class, so you critique each other's work. And then at night, of course, I had to pay a visit to Medasin, the only place I study on campus. So I met up with Michelle and Jenny and just did some work for the rest of the night. I'm done with classes for today. I'm currently at Tropical Smoothie getting dinner, and then I'm gonna head over to Medasin to study.
I like to come along and oh, I like to come along and I see the sun, it sets down on my tired city. Wind blowing on my face, I wonder if it's drifting to somewhere far.
It's Jennifer!
I was in Paris and I already gave Michelle hers, so got your print.
Oh my gosh! Wait, this is so pretty. Thank you. Note to editing May. This is to test out the slow-mo.
Man, I swear last summer was like a dream. Feels like last summer was like a dream. And I'm trying to figure out, I'm just trying to figure out what it means. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what it means. It's such a tragedy to stay inside on peaceful summer days, but I got nobody calling me, I stay behind the shades. I was thinking about the days, how they weren't even a thing. Wasting hours watching ceilings, clouds passing through the shades as I...
The fun Zoom. Oh. I want to die. I think I'm boba. Any expectations for this coming week? Highlights, lowlights, midlights?
See us at party on Saturday.
We don't party anymore.
It's true.
How are your classes? Did you figure them out?
No.
Me neither.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Put in the Slurpee noise that Emma uses, like...
No, we don't copyright content on this channel.
Do it.
Do something cute, I don't know, like friendship goals. What? It's currently 10 p.m. Medasin is empty. I'm running on like 2 hours of upright sleep from the plane. Syllabus day is not necessarily difficult in terms of coursework, but it's definitely hard to juggle everything when you're still planning out what extracurriculars you're doing and internships, job interviews, blah blah blah. Kind of a hectic week, but at the end of it, I feel like it'll be good, you know? Okay, me and my last 2 brain cells are gonna go to sleep now. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and
Goodbye.
be you, be true. Bye.